Adults of Reddit, what is something every teenager needs to know? It's okay to say no to anyone. Don't let anyone in your life guilt trip you into doing something you don't want to do or are uncomfortable with. It's exactly as lame to not do something you want to do because it's too mainstream or popular as it is to do something only because it's cool and the cool kids are doing it. Also, some things seem mainstream to you just because you like that thing. So you have a lot of friends who do it. For example, I had a friend in high school who was very good at cello, and his parents are luthiers, violin makers. Music was his passion. But he felt the field would be too competitive because everyone does it. Well, in reality it wasn't everyone, but his social circle consisted of mostly musicians. So in college he studied environmental science and hated it. Fast forward, and he is now working in his parents' shop and learning the family trade of making violins. He still worries about competition in that field, but I think he will be successful and it's work that he enjoys. Just too bad he threw away that time and money for the college that he didn't really want to do anyway. The measure of whether someone has the potential to be a new friend of yours is not whether they like a bunch of things you like. It is entirely possible to become friends with people who like a ton of things you've never heard of, or even already decided you dislike. You are at a spot in life where a lot of your likes and dislikes are subject to change anyway. Biggest thing, making a new friend often takes time. Lots of time. Much longer than movies and shows make it look like. Find things to do, groups to join, city league sports to play, pandemic permitting, or after, and keep learning about the people you see repeatedly. Far too many early 20s people who report having no friends made a premature judgment that one or more prospective friends were off the list when it just needed a lot more time. Failing is okay. Learn a second language. It's good for your brain, and it's a lot easier when you're young. Get active and fit, make it a habit. This is one of the most important ways to stave off cognitive decline as you get older. Plus, it's great for managing mental health during the transition to adulthood. Start trying to save money now. You will definitely thank yourself later on. Get a marketable skill. Unskilled labor sucks. You need something that's going to pay you. It doesn't have to be your life's passion, contrary to what my peers were saying at that age. But you do need to be able to tolerate it, and you don't need to go to a university and get a BA to get those skills. 2 years of welding school will get you a better return in investment than most undergrad degrees. My brother is a principal of a US high school. He had a representative of a pipe fitters union ask to put up an information table at their school last year, like the colleges and military recruiters do. The school board was against it. They wanted their students to aim higher. My brother successfully argued that this union rep was offering paid training that in a couple of years would lead to a solid mid-5-figure income in a career that, if you went for some of the more attractive certifications, like underwater work, you could be making 6 figures a couple years after that. If you don't have a passion, learn new skills. You might find your passion or something you're good at. Good advice. Also, if you do have a passion, embrace it and don't be shy about it. Also, if your passion is something creative like art, design, woodworking, basically anything that has a visual aspect, be ready to expect unjust criticism. Accept constructive criticism. And most importantly, reject any sense of overconfidence in yourself. You think you are the best, you tend to not readily accept any criticism and start looking down on the work of others. Don't put off dealing with mental health issues. Developing unhealthy coping mechanisms for emotional issues will duck you up big time down the road. If you have issues, deal with it head on, right away. It can take time, but start the work now. Also, save for retirement. You should open a Roth IRA yesterday. Sometimes it's not just a phase and your parents, while both very intelligent functional people, are ducking idiots for letting you suffer through 4 years of high school. Don't go to college for more than 2 years, unless you're gonna finish it. Don't let your bank act yo-yo around zero. Start to save something. At least have $1,000 for an emergency fund. Drinking a little is fine. Drinking at the bar every weekend, or 3x/WK will ruin your health and your wallet. Drink and drive. But you are allowed to have fun and nice things sometimes. And sex is not wrong or immoral. Would be careful about it. And most social media is a poisonous, toxic, lying breakfast dumpster fire. Don't waste your time except for your immediate friend group. Cashiers don't care if you buy condoms. As a cashier, I only found it funny when a guy came to buy chocolate and a pack of condoms on Valentine's Day. The condoms with a single chocolate rose always cracked me up. Especially since the drugstore was in between a grocery store with a floral department and a flower shop. When you get to driving, you need to realize that the laws of physics apply to you. They aren't out to get you. They are just indifferent. Slow the duck down and don't horse around. You're driving a very heavy machine at speeds we did not evolve to deal with. Be safe. Also slow down on curves. Friction is your best friend until you reach the breaking point. To add to this, don't brake in curves. Slow down before the curve, then speed up out of the curve. I don't know the physics behind this, but my dad was a police officer and has done some pursuits. And I was told this by my driver's ed instructor who helps instruct police officers too. If you are assaulted on campus, notify the police, not campus security. To add to this, if you're experiencing harassment, bullying, or anything that isn't technically a matter for the police, don't stop reporting it to the school until somebody actually listens to you. The first person you talk to at the school may blow you off. Go to the next person up or another department. If they say there's nothing they can do, get them to put it in writing. People are often much more inclined to help if their actions, or lack thereof, are being recorded. No problem. Can I get a copy of that decision in writing? It's for my records and I'd like it available in case another party or department refers me back to you. It'll save me some time. Apostrophe. Suddenly they can help you, or we'll get on the phone to the right people. How to de-escalate difficult situations. And how to disagree with a teacher/someone in authority without sounding like a know-it-all, or in a condescending manner. For example, if a teacher says X and you are certain you learn differently, recognize that there may be certain circumstances that you may not realize that changes something. Lead the disagreement with a saying like, "Excuse me, I may be wrong, but I thought/learned why." This kind of phrasing does not cause the other person to be on the defensive, which can allow gentle new instruction for you, or a graceful/face-saving correction for the teacher. A situation with differing opinions doesn't have to be confrontational. The general advice to not be an asshole will get you further in life than you would expect considering how easy it is. There's more to it than just do not be an asshole. It's also allowing a graceful exit for both parties. The same is true when encountering wild animals. I graduated 10 years ago from high school and none of those people are in my life now. So take your time being you and grow your self-esteem and talents now over wasting time trying to impress those pricks you won't even remember in a few months after graduation. Edit. It seems like there is some confusion as to my advice. I'm not saying drop your friends. Those are a very important aspect of life, especially in high school. What I'm saying is drop the politics and drama of your school. I know it feels like it is the whole world now, but if you let those who try to bring you down, who mock you, who try and pressure you will not be around forever. Worry about building yourself to being the best you that you can become. I still have contact with a few childhood friends to this day, just not really any I made in high school. But all those negative, drama craving, bullies, and those downbeats in general will not follow you. I graduated 2 years ago and already lost contact with all of them. Now I'm sad about possibly losing my friends after high school because I love them like family. Learn to trust your gut when in strange situations. If something feels off/wrong, it probably is. Don't go along with something if it feels wrong. And don't feel bad for not going along. Do what's right for you. And don't belittle someone else for following their gut, even if it doesn't make sense to you. While you shan't believe those who say these gonna be the best years of your life, try to make the most of it. To enjoy the ride. Don't be ashamed of your hobbies and passions. Those who make fun of that can go duck themselves. Every feeling you have deserves to be expressed in any constructive manner. Don't fear rejection from those you like/love. Tell them and come what may. Whenever people talk about how these are supposed to be my best years of my life, it makes me sad, because I can't see how this is my peak. Not having fun. I'm not experiencing anything, and time is passing. Edit. Seeing the attention this got definitely made it a little better though. Don't worry. My teenage years were some of the worst years of my life, both at home and at school. Things got loads better into my 20s and 30s. Hold yourself to your own standards. If you wouldn't let anyone treat your friends/family like trash, then don't do it yourself. If you feel learning is a positive thing, then learn on the daily. If you value work and security, then give yourself security through work. If you expect others to be intelligent and to care, then you should be intelligent and caring. Hold yourself accountable for how you want the world to be. Be a part of the world you want to live in. Edit. Wow. This stratospherically launched my internet points. Thank you very much everybody. That feels very nice. I wish you all a great week. XDD. Honestly, your teens are the perfect time to begin small on creating good habits that pay off big in the long run. 1. Save and or invest 10% of any money you receive. 2. Create a habit of exercising, even just small exercises, every day. 3. Someone else said it, but it is worth repeating. Brush your teeth. 4. Figure out what you enjoy. Read and try a lot of different things. Go to camps, or shadow any jobs you think you might be interested in. Sometimes the job you think you'd enjoy, you find out you have no interest in at all. This will save you a lot of money, like studying pre-med and learning you hate healthcare. 5. This is a difficult one as a teen, but try to establish a decent sleeping habit, preferably one where you wake up early. I feel like I slept my teen years away. Edit. On number 5 I meant going to bed earlier and waking up earlier, not sleeping less. I realize teens need more sleep. Edit 2. Guys, I don't have all the answers. Those were just what came to my head at the moment. Feel free to add additional numbers. People, employers, etc. will take advantage of your naivete. In many cases this will be illegal. Know your rights. So when the illegal shit happens you can recognize it. On top of that, stay on top of your finances and don't get into debt if you can avoid it. Living and lawyers both cost a lot of money, and exercising your rights is so much harder if you are financially dependent on the person taking advantage of you. I've said this before, but it's important. When someone says you can't do something in life, it means they can't do it, not that you can't. Advice is free, and if you respond to it with I know, then you're probably not gonna figure your problem out. I'm 17 and I needed to hear this one. Thanks. Train yourself to say you're right instead. I do this one all the time. The person you love at the 17th of May not be the person you love at 30. You change. They change. If you change together and are still on the same path, that's great. But allow yourselves to change. Allow them to change. And reassess whether you're simply together for loyalty or because you still really want a future together with who you both are now. Basically, be willing to let love go. It doesn't mean you didn't love them. You both changed, and it happens, and it's kinda sad, but will just open you up to be yourself. In addition, allow your love to change. The love you feel at 17 isn't the only love, and it's not necessarily the best love. Also, your love for someone doesn't increase as they do things for you. It increases as you do things for them. If you feel like you're falling out of love, consider whether you're expecting them to tether you or whether you're holding fast to them. Learn how to cook. It's way cheaper and usually faster than takeout and does less damage to your health, provided you aren't just cooking out of a box all the time. Most of your friends are the product of geographic convenience. Just because you grew up being friends with a neighbor or a fellow student doesn't mean you owe them your undying loyalty when they start treating you like shit. Yes, it's very possible that you outgrow your childhood friends or just grow in different directions. At the same time, teens should understand that once your school days are over, high school or college, Finding and keeping friends takes so much more effort. Because you don't automatically see them every day. I dunno. Some of the best friends I have now I made because we work together every day lol. One of them is from an old job I had 4 years ago. We remained friends after we both quit. So I mean, it really just depends. There's always more to it. Right now isn't the be all and end all. Edit. Wowie, thank you for the awards, kind strangers. Exclamation mark. I will also say that by no means as a teen should your feelings be downplayed, and this is not suggesting that your current issues are minimal. It's important to recognize how you're feeling, but also don't let it consume or dictate how you look towards your future. There is always going to be a better time. To those who reached out to me, keep pushing on. You deserve so much better. Will get better and have exciting things ahead. Yay, they don't tell you this enough when you're younger. No one explains that adulthood just keeps going. The sun is definitely coming up tomorrow, and it will be a whole new day same as today. It just keeps happening. You can take that with pessimism or optimism. It really doesn't matter because we're doing it all again tomorrow. Don't sweat the small stuff. Soon it will be years in the past. Every teenager should be taught proper sex ed. How to prevent pregnancy and STIs. They should also do a better job of explaining the differences between real sex and porn. Though honestly there are some great instructional videos on Pornhub out there. Edit. And adding consent explicitly. Per u/breadbox187's pertinent reminder. This is going to sound cliche, but just be yourself. Having friends is important, but don't act like them just to fit in. You may not entirely know who you are yet, and by not being yourself, you're going to lose your true self in the mix. If you're lucky, it'll take many years and a lot of soul searching to even bring back your uniqueness, and then clump that all together to learn who you truly are. I made this mistake. I'm 37 now. It took me 20 years to undo everything, because in college and afterwards, I was a chameleon changing my personality with each group of friends I was with. I had no idea who I was. It took a lot of work on my self-esteem to recorrect my thought process. Edit. High school is really tough. As hard as it might be, try not to feed a bully with more ammo. Ignore the person and they'll get bored and move on. Also, try to enjoy life. Responsibly, of course. You can have some great, fun, and happy years as a teenager. Figure out what activities you love most to do, and do them. Hang out with positive people. Put yourself first. You're going to get hurt, but the feelings will pass. I promise. These are all things I didn't do as a teenager. I had a traumatic childhood and its effects really started to hit me as a teenager. It led to miserable years, when it could have been so much different. Compound interest. It's never too early to start saving for retirement. Take a personal finance class. Twitter, or any social media, is a loaded gun. It's there forever. Even if you delete it, there are people in bad situations. This is sad. But, not all of them want to be saved from it. We, your parents, are harsh because we want you to make better choices than we did. The wisest of us, though, will let you make mistakes and fail to a smaller degree. Cause we know you don't listen. Close bracket. Edit. Some parents truly are assholes. My advice isn't universal in this case. Sorry for any confusion. Check out /r/raceedbinarcissists to see if yours qualifies. People tell you these are the best years of your life. That's bullshit. Just because you have fewer responsibilities in their eyes doesn't mean your problems are invalid. It was especially hurtful for me to hear that when I was going through depression in high school, I was already at rock bottom. But if it's all downhill from here, what's the friggin' point? Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.